It is now 5 o'clock. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the Palmdale City Council meeting. This evening, Mayor Richard Lowell will be attending remotely from Holiday Inn National Airport on Jefferson Davis Highway in Arlington, Virginia. He will be zooming in to attend the meeting with us today. Before we call the meeting to order, as a note of public safety, I'd like to have an announcement from our city manager regarding the fire that's in Castaic right now, so that we can put everyone's fears to rest.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. We are monitoring the fire actively. It is currently referred to as the Hughes Fire. Over 8,000 acres have been burned. Castaic Animal Shelter has been evacuated to the Palmdale and Lancaster animal shelters. Schools have been evacuated further into Valencia. It is not burning in any way at this time a threat to Palmdale, but we are monitoring it actively. Antelope Valley Fair and Event Center is also available as an evac site, and Marie Kerr is on standby as well. Our teams have deployed from our Lancaster and Palmdale police stations to support in the evacuation efforts as well.
Thank you. So at this time, nobody in the city of Palmdale is required to evacuate. Everything is good. It's not in our city, and hopefully it will never reach our city. So everyone can take a deep breath and a sigh of relief. So, all right, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order, please.
Mayor Loa,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Betancourt,
Here.
Council Members Bishop,
Here.
Olson,
Here.
and Larcon.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. And if I could please have Council Member Eric Olson assist us with the Pledge of Allegiance,
Sure. Please rise.
since you're our military guy.
Place your right hand over your heart and begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
The flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we could just have a moment of silence, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you all very much. You can be seated. Okay, so that moves us to item number 4, and that's going to be presentation 4.1. Presentation update from the Economic and Community Development.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. My name is Brenda Magana. I am the Planning Manager and oversee the Planning Division, which includes planning and business license. Tonight, I will give you an overview of the Planning Division's role within the city, highlight some of the important accomplishments, and discuss what we have to look forward in 2025. Before we get started, some may be asking, what is city planning? City planning is the relationship between people and the environment and impacts you whether you realize it or not. City planning shapes the way our cities are organized, how we get around, and how we interact with our environment. This includes the layout of streets, public spaces, decisions regarding housing, economic development, transportation, and open spaces. In a nutshell, it shapes where we live, work, and play. The Planning Division is comprised of 10 employees, 2 associate planners, 2 assistant planners, 2 planning aides, 1 business license coordinator, and 2 administrative assistants which support the division. One important thing I'd like to point out is that 70% of our staff is Spanish speaking, and given that our community is predominantly Hispanic, this is a huge asset to the team in providing excellent customer service. The role and responsibilities of the division are to process planning and business license applications in a timely manner, perform environmental review of development projects to ensure that projects comply with the California Environmental Quality Act, perform plan reviews in collaboration with our internal team, which includes engineering, traffic, building and safety, environmental waste, and public safety, and our external agencies, such as LA County Fire, Antelope Valley Air Quality Management District, and our water providers, LA County Waterworks and Palmdale Water District, just to name a few. The purpose of this review is to ensure that development projects comply with the city's general plan and Palmdale Municipal Code. Development Advisory Board meetings, commonly referred to as DAB, are held twice a month on the second and fourth Wednesday. This group is comprised of our internal staff and our outside agency that I previously mentioned. Personally, I'm glad that we offer this service as a city. It really gives the developer a 360-degree view of our development process and gives you that point of contact up front. Our business license coordinator also works closely with our public safety team to ensure that we have a smooth firework vendors season during the 4th of July. Lastly, planning commission meetings are held on the second Thursday of each month. And not only do we have a great commission, but this team works really hard to ensure that we meet all of our noticing requirements and provide all the necessary details for our commission to make informed decisions. In 2024, I'd like to highlight that we received a Lighthouse Award on behalf of the California Municipal Revenue and Tax Association for the adoption of Ordinance 1612, which streamlined our business license and permit processes. We also had a very busy year. Our counter staff is responsible for responding to our residents and the development community, either in person, through email, and over the phone. In 2024, they fielded over 5,000 calls, 3,000 counter visits, and responded to over 6,000 email inquiries. In addition, we processed over 1,000 new business licenses, over 6,000 renewals, 12 new business permits, and over 100 business permit renewals. The Planning Division received 967 applications, as shown on the screen. One of the most impressive numbers on the screen is the amount of zone clearances we processed this year. Zone clearance applications are commonly referred to as over-the-counter permits and include home occupation permits, occupancy review for new tenants, and single-family residential home renovation. I'd like to point out that these are handled by our planning aides, so not only are they responding to inquiries, but each one of them single-handedly processed over 300 applications in 2024. In addition, staff has approved over 16,000 square feet of commercial development, over 2.7 million square feet of industrial development, and published 3 environmental impact reports, which will facilitate 2 large industrial developments known as Antelope Valley Commerce Center, which you will hear later today, or this evening, and Transwestern, which is located on Avenue M and 30th Street East, and 1 large master plan community that is commonly referred to as Quail Valley, that is located in the unincorporated LA County region near Ana Verde and Rinder Ranch. To provide some context, we worked hard to put this map together. So this map shows you all the projects that are currently under entitlement review and or under construction. So we have a lot going on throughout the city. In these next 2 slides, I want to point out that staff has created a development timeline handout to provide the development community with a general overview of the process, and it also includes some of the state mandated noticing requirements that we have to abide by. And in an effort to make sure that we are providing the necessary resources for our community, we focused on translating 6 of our frequently asked questions from English to Spanish so that we have those readily available at the counter. This final slide includes contact information for planning and business license related questions. This concludes my portion of the presentation. I will hand it off to Brian George, our building official.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. As Brenda said, my name is Brian George. I'm the building official for the City of Palmdale. And this evening, I'll be giving a brief overview of the Building and Safety Division and some of the projects in our city. Building and Safety is comprised of 16 staff members, 5 permit technicians, 7 inspectors, 1 plan reviewer, 1 supervising plan reviewer, a senior analyst, and of course myself, the building official. Tonight I will highlight some of the roles and responsibilities of the Building and Safety Division, including processing building permit applications and payments, plan review, building inspections, participating in development advisory board meetings, coordinating with developers and assisting customers, and maintaining compliance with federal and state legislation. Building and safety technicians processed over 6,000 applications for building permits in 2024. Technicians review applications, assess fees, invoice customers, and support customers in need of assistance with applications and submittals. Technicians perform these tasks in addition to averaging about 30 phone calls a day and assisting customers at the counter. Our community development technicians are often the first line and first people that are met with building and safety and must be familiar with the planning process, the Palmdale Municipal Code, the plan review process, state laws, including state contractors' license laws. In 2024, the plan review staff provided over 3,000 plan reviews and constantly strive to find new ways to increase efficiency and streamline projects. Plan review staff is required to check projects and verify construction documents in accordance with the California Building Code, Palmdale Municipal Code, Los Angeles County Fire Code, and Health Department requirements. The plan review staff partners with outside consultants to provide efficient plan review and additional support on special projects in an effort to keep review time to a minimum. In addition, the plan review team provides customer service at the building and safety counter, providing general information, reviewing documents, and providing project-specific information. The building inspection team performed over 15,000 inspections in 2024, averaging 15 inspections per day per inspector. Inspectors must verify site conditions in accordance with the construction documents and plans, and when necessary, write correction notices and discuss deficiencies with contractors and permit holders. Inspections often include multiple trades and disciplines, requiring the inspection staff to keep current on the latest changes and continuing education. The Los Angeles County Fire Department and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department often call on building inspectors to inspect structures when they have been damaged for an emergency assessment. In addition to supervising plan review, our supervising plan reviewer, Mr. Adam Yass, participates in the Development Advisory Board meetings. Adam provides developers and contractors with preliminary information and project requirements. This information that Adam provides is essential for project designers, engineers, and owners to understand the requirements of their proposed projects. Coordinating with developers and customers allow the customers to be informed and provide the information necessary for the most efficient experience possible. In response to applicant feedback, Building and Safety created a flow chart to provide applicants with the roadmap of the application process. The flow chart highlights the path within the City of Palmdale Building and Safety and provides customers with city departments and agencies outside the jurisdiction that may apply to their projects. This information is on the Building and Safety webpage and is part of the continuous updating of information. Last, Building and Safety Division must stay informed and adjust to the ever-changing legislative requirements. One recent example, Building and Safety worked with the Planning Department to meet the requirements of AB 1332, which requires jurisdictions to post ADU plans online. Now I'll go through a few projects that were completed in 2024. The Legacy at Palmdale, this is located in the Fairway Business Park. This is a 99,000 square foot industrial project spanning approximately 5 acres. It is now completed in the final inspection phases with the certificate of occupancy expected in the coming month. Trader Joe's Building A, Phase 1. Building A is 827,000 square feet and is now operational under a partial occupancy. Bob's Discount Furniture opened a 27,000 square foot store in October. This project involved a complete tenant improvement, taking over the space that was previously occupied by Bed Bath & Beyond. Some projects in 2025. Wood Springs Suites is a 50,000 square foot, 4-story, 122 room hotel located at Avenue 08 and 10th Street West. This project is expected to be completed in this quarter. Mr. Car Wash is a 3,000 square foot car wash located at 18th Street East and Palmdale Boulevard. Juniper Valley Multifamily Residential features 8 buildings with a total of 72 units located at the corner of 25th Street East and Avenue Q4. Town Place Suites by Marriott, 64,000 square foot, 4-story, 120 room hotel currently under construction at Trade Center Drive, Completion is anticipated late this year. Together California, construction has begun on 12 three-bedroom townhouses and will include a 7,000 square foot community center. This project is situated on nearly 5 acres near McAdam Park on 30th Street East. And last, we have D.R. Horton, the Reserve at Quartz Hill, located at Avenue M and 70th Street West. This will feature 86 single-family residents. These projects highlight the continued growth and investment in the region and show a diverse range of commercial, residential, and hospitality development. This concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time. Staff is available for questions.
Thank you so much. Does any of the council people have comments or questions? Andrea?
First, I just want to say thank you to your leadership, you and both of your leadership for both planning and building and safety division, but for all of your team. I mean, I think you said planning has a total staff of 10, building and safety has a total staff of 16. I was doing some quick computing. Planning, over 1,000 applications were reviewed. Several EIRs, which are monumental documents, and they require an exorbitant amount of work and time. Building and safety, when I added all the applications, reviews, and inspections, nearly 25,000 completed with 16 people. I mean, that is remarkable, and it's a testament to your commitment to the city and to the work and the professionalism that you uphold within the city. So thank you for that. I had a quick question. I don't know if it might just sort of throw you off, but these are some pretty sizable projects that are completed or near completion. Do you have any idea of how many jobs we've created in each of these projects? Because it seems to me that it's got to be in the tens of thousands with all of these combined.
I would be speculating. I know the Trader Joe's project, they said that over 1,000 jobs would be created on that one project alone. Again, I would be speculating with the hotels, maybe 100 jobs.
Right, so that's the jobs after so the hotel
Correct.
jobs, those are the jobs after the project's completed. But the jobs, the construction jobs to get those projects done, that is a sizable number of jobs. We've got LIUNA laborers here, we've got the carpenters here, we've got a lot of our labor friends here. It's a testament to their work and their partnership with this city that we're able to deliver such wonderful projects that are absolutely going to improve the quality of life for our residents in the city of Palmdale. So thank you to you, thank you to our labor partners who are here, and to all those who have contributed to bringing these projects to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Anyone else? Mr. Austin?
Yeah. That Trader Joe's sure is exciting, isn't it? I've been on the council we're going on 9 years, and that was a 6-year project. And I grew up here as well, and we saw in the 90s that Palmdale had a huge growth spurt, and we had a lot of development. We had the AV Mall and all the commerce and all the businesses come to town, and it slowed down a little bit come 2008 with the real estate crash, but kudos to the staff here because we're growing fast, and there's a lot of big companies looking to move up here, and I think we're going to see a little something later tonight that shows that proves that. So thank you, staff, for keeping up with the demand as our city grows.
Okay.
No, everything's coming up Palmdale.
There you go.
Thank you.
And wait, don't go. Richard, are you there? Do you want to make any comments? Hello?
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
And no, I want to echo the same sentiment that's been expressed already.
Okay.
I think the city is dynamic because what's happening in development and planning is spurring much of that dynamism. So congratulations to staff and keep it up, keep going. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Richard. And thank you to everyone who participates in these projects and for all the staff's work. And thank you for all of our unions that use our local labor. That's very important to have people living in Palmdale, working in Palmdale. So thank you all very much. Thank you so much. All right, we're moving on to public comments. If you could read the public comment rules or play the video, the audio.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? The meeting of the Palmdale City Council is now in order. A code of conduct will now be read, and we request that you comply with it to ensure the efficient administration of the meeting. Members of the public, it is your right to participate in today's City Council meeting, and the Council encourages such participation. However, the right of the public to address the council must be balanced with the need to ensure that public comment does not interfere with the orderly course of the council's business. All are reminded to abide by the following rules. Speakers must cease speaking immediately when their time has ended. Public comment on agenda items must relate to the subject matter of that item. General public comment is limited to subjects within the jurisdiction of the council. Public comment does not include the right to engage in a dialogue with council members or staff. Please remain respectful of the forum and refrain from uttering, writing, or displaying profane, personal, threatening, derogatory, demeaning, or other abusive statements towards the council, any member thereof, staff, or any other person. Members of the audience should be respectful of the views expressed by speakers, staff, and council members and may not excessively clap, cheer, whistle, or otherwise disrupt the orderly conduct of the meeting. Any person engaging in conduct that disrupts the meeting is subject to being removed from the council meeting. Finally, if you witness conduct or behavior by other members of the public that disrupts your ability to remain engaged or participate in this meeting, please notify city staff. Thank you for your cooperation.
Now is the time for public comments on Section 6, the consent calendar in its entirety. Now is the time for public comments. We do not have speaker cards on this section at this time.
Well, in that case, we'll go ahead and close public comments. Does the council have anything that they would like to pull from the consent calendar?
Yes, please, 6-4 and 6-5.
Okay, anyone else?
I'll make a motion to approve the remaining balance.
I'll second.
Okay, and tonight we'll be doing voice votes, so if we could do a call.
Mayor Loa? Mayor Loa? Mayor Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes?
Council members Bishop,
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
And Alarcon.
Yes.
I will say one more time, Mayor Loa? Okay,
Okay.
we will move forward. It passes
All
with
right.
4 yes votes.
Thank you so much. Okay, yes, I guess we'll go to 6.4.
Sorry,
get
I got disconnected there for a moment, so my vote is yes.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Lowe.
you, noted.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Can we just get a quick staff report? And just as you, I don't want you guys to get scared, think I'm gonna like jump. I pulled this item because it's an important item. It's on our consent calendar, but it's 6 public safety vehicles that are going to help support and enforce, our entire law enforcement team, our public safety team. I think it's something that should be noted, and that the people should be aware of. It's not something we just pass on consent and sort of overlook because, quality of life, our public safety is our primary concern here. And I just want the public to know that we are constantly keeping that at the fore of our mind in our budgetary considerations. And so if you could just talk a little bit about what these 6 vehicles will bring and maybe some timelines and that kind of thing.
Sure. First off, good evening, Mayor and council people. This is Don Rubio, Public Safety. I would like to discuss the item number 6.4. It's approval for requisition number 2508807, and not to exceed $339,000 for a purchase of 6 safety vehicles. Now, these vehicles, as you mentioned, are going to be used for our community service officers. Our staff is increasing, and with that being the increase, we definitely want to have those vehicles available for the turnover that we continue to have in that office. So again, they're going to provide community service officers to go out to the community and take non-criminal reports that are not workable, which obviously enhance the ability of the sheriff's department to make a quick response to the priority calls that we have and emergent calls that we have throughout the city. So those are going to be a big part of our increase in our public safety department, code enforcement as well, and public safety will be a priority for the city moving forward.
Thank you. That's really all that I wanted to point out. I mean, our partnership with the LA Sheriff's Department is paramount, and response time is one of the concerns I get all the time from constituents. But our partnership with the Sheriff's Department and our ability to provide the proper equipment to our internal community services officers will be able to meld that partnership much, much better. So thank you for bringing this forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else have any questions?
No, great job.
How about you, Mr. Wilson?
No questions, just great job. I think since I joined this council 2 years ago, we've been pounding this public safety thing. We did a complete analysis of the sheriff's contract, and we came to the conclusion that our best way forward is to increase code enforcement and public safety within the city. And you're starting to see that now with these investments. Some of the things that we've done already to change our code to mirror that of the penal code so that officers can write a municipal violation instead of a penal violation. That way we can do prosecution in-house. I just think that what we're doing, other cities need to take a look at because the results are already starting to show and progress is being made and response times are coming down and you and your team are a big part of that. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So I just wanted to say that bringing on the new employees, these cars are moving from point A to point B on a continuous basis. They are racking up a lot of miles, and that's why we have to maintain our fleet so that they can get to the places that they need to be. We are the model of how to work together between our city and our sheriff's department. We've had other cities contact us saying, how do you do what you do? And I just wanted to introduce you to the public. We have not done that yet, so welcome aboard to the city of Palmdale, Mr. Rubio. I'm sure you're going to be a great asset for the city. He is our new Director of Public Safety, and we expect great things. So thank you, and these cars are necessary in order to keep the things in motion.
So we applaud you, welcome you.
Yes, let's give him a hand.
If there's no further discussion, I'm happy to move the item.
Okay, we have.
Just a second, hold it, I'm still here.
I'm
I am.
sorry, Mr. Loa. I apologize. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm sorry.
No, but the problem is it's, the feed is coming in and out also, but in any event, Mr. Rubio, it is great to have you come on board here in the city of Palmdale. We've known each other for a lot of years, and I know that you're going to do a fabulous job for us and keep our city safe. All our residents will be served by your leadership, and I appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My apologize, Mr. Loa. I'm so sorry. My apologies. Okay, so we're going to move on to 6.5.
We have a
If we could
motion,
have
we
a
need a
motion.
Oh, I'm
second and
sorry.
a vote.
Motion, we have a second?
We need a motion in a second.
I moved, we need a second and a vote.
I'll second.
Okay, and now we can do the vote.
We have Mayor Loa,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Betancourt,
Yes?
Council Members Bishop,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
and Alicon.
Yes.
Passes
right.
unanimously.
All right, so that passes. Now we can move on to 6.5. Andrea?
Yes, can we get a staff report on this one too, please? Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. My name is Lee Torres. I'm the Public Works Director. I'm here to present item 6.5 for City Council's consideration to approve agreement number A-9192 with Nash Construction Services Incorporated, project number 907, for the Aero Building Tenant Improvement Project for the not-to-exceed amount of $280,921, which also includes the 15% contingency. A little bit of the background, this space was identified at the Aero Building located at 38255 9th Street East that can be renovated to meet the needs of the public safety. The renovation will provide the department with a break room, additional restrooms, storage rooms, and office spaces for the new staff. So this project was out to bid back in November 28th. We received 3 bids with 1 local vendor. After further review, the Nash Construction Services was determined the lowest responsible bidder for the proposed construction amount of $244,279. The funds will be are budgeted and available in fiscal year 24-25 using Measure AV.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that report. So I absolutely, again, this project is to bolster the Public Safety Department. So conceptually, I am absolutely in support of it. So my questions are more directed towards sort of technicalities in the contract and in the bidding process. So first, my question is, there were three responsive bidders. One of those was a contractor from, actually based in the city of Palmdale. My question is, and they were not the one that was selected. I know that there's a price differential in the proposal, but my question is, how do we weigh whether or not they are a local contractor as they go through the bidding process?
For the public bids, being local isn't qualifying, so it's a low responsible bidder, making sure that they submit all the required bid forms. But the local aspect of it, even though it's encouraged, it's not part of it's not weighed, because it's a public bid, has to go through the lowest responsible bidder.
Right, so we can go through a lowest responsible bidder process, but also sort of allocate points to those who are local entities. I know because I've used to award contracts in another jurisdiction, so I'm pretty familiar with the bid and award process. And I'm just wondering if moving forward, we can take that into consideration as we issue RFPs and we receive those proposals back, because I think it's really, really important to keep our money here and invest in our workforce here. We've got such talent here, and we've got the need for mortgage-paying jobs. And if there's a way that we can sort of quantify by virtue of points in the review process, and at least give some a credit to those that are local bidders, I think it would be a value added to our process overall.
In the past, we have had a local preference on our contracts. I don't know what the rules are. The attorney would have to tell us. I know that there's certain contracts we can do that with, certain contracts we can't. So if it can happen, that's great. Local preference should always be, at the forefront of our minds. So if
Yeah.
you guys can get together with the attorney and
Definitely look into it.
and
Great,
look into
thank you.
that.
On this one, it's a sizable monetary difference, it's 140,000, so I get it. But if there is an opportunity moving forward, when we're, awarding these contracts and reviewing these proposals, if we can take that into consideration, I think it would be helpful for us, at least for me, in consideration when we award these contracts. My second question is, so you said, and in our staff report notes, that the funding is coming from Measure AV, right?
Correct.
Right. So the contract then, I'm confused as to why the contract has Exhibit A that has ARPA requirements.
Should we be asking the city attorney that? Mr. Attorney, would you like to speak?
I can answer that
Okay,
myself. We
that's-
have included that language in all of the contracts. In the event we should have dollars available, it's sort of a catch-all to be safe that we can use the ARPA dollars if we need to, or if we reprogram anything. So we include it at the front in case funding changes along the way.
But the federal requirements that are in here, under the ARPA guidelines, there's like 6-7 pages of them. They're not going to apply to the contractor unless the ARPA funds are utilized, correct?
Correct.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, and
Thank
so, Mr. Attorney, can you address the local preference?
Well, the city does have local preference requirements now, but they're perhaps more complicated than need be, in the sense, we look at the contracts and the labor agreements, and there's a bunch of variables that go in. Now, one thing that the council, the mayor pro tem council, have as a great advantage, you have a charter. And charter is a home rule power. Your charter is very responsive to capital improvement projects, public works projects. And what it really means is, at the end of the day, general state law gets overridden by your local enactments. So we can look at both streamlining the local preference requirement, but with your public works director, we can kind of make more sophisticated the weight given to local folks. So simply put, we're not bound by state law. So whatever works in Palmdale, whatever is going to cause it to come up Palmdale.
All right, thank you very much. Anybody else have any comments or questions?
Nope, nothing.
If not, happy to move the item.
Okay, we have a motion
I'll make a second.
and a second. Can we call for the vote? Thank you, sir.
Mayor Loa,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Battencourt,
Yes?
Council Members Bishop,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
And Alarcon.
Yes.
Passes unanimously.
Excellent. So now we're going to be moving on to item number 7, but I made a mistake on the agenda and we didn't do our cute critter. So am I able to pull that out of order and do the video really fast? Since we have a captive audience, you all want to take a pet home, don't you? That's absolutely, yeah, they all need homes because the shelters are full because of the fires. So please think long and hard about taking an animal home.
Just like a random draw.
Well, that was fast. Was that it? Really? That fast? Well, okay.
We can play it again.
Moving right along. All right, we're at 7.1 for public hearing. Do we have someone to come up and talk? Hello again. I know, they look like they should all be together. You need to sit over here.
All right, hello again. So the item before you is a request for a 2-year time extension and a major modification to phase the previously approved tentative map into 4 separate phases. The project site is located within the Rancho Vista specific plan, alpha of Rancho Vista Boulevard, south of Vista Point Way. And if you turn to page 3 of your staff report, you'll see the aerial photograph there for reference. The map was originally approved in 2006 and since has received time extensions exercised by the city and authorized by the state. Approval of this project would extend the map to April 3rd, 2029, and is beneficial to Palmdale residents because it will facilitate the development of 65 new residences and 1 detention basin. Aside from the phasing of the map, there are no modifications to the map as originally approved. Staff recommends City Council adopt Ordinance 1651. I'm available for any questions.
I have one question, but do you have questions?
No, no questions.
I just have one question. So 65 single-family homes, which is exciting. Do you have any idea what the average price range or the price point for these homes will be?
We have the applicant here.
Can the applicant speak to that point, please? Welcome.
Hi.
Congratulations for getting this
Mayor.
far. It's been a long road.
It has been. We basically work with builders, home builders, so I can't really speak for them in terms of what they sell the homes for. I guess easiest way to do it would basically be to look at the market rate in that area, in the Rancho Vista area. I believe it's, last time I heard, somewhere around 600,000-700,000 or something like that. Yeah. But also here to answer any questions you may have.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, so first went to Planning Commission in 2006, right? How's it looking for the next couple of years with this extension? Does it look like you're gonna get the project sold to a builder?
Yeah, I believe so. Part of, I'd probably say, I don't know, over the last several years, one of the hurdles, and it's still actually ongoing, and one of the reasons why things are taking so long is this whole Joshua Tree issue. And that's become, I'm sure you all have discussed it and heard about it and everything and dealt with it. But we're still trying to work through that. It's, some of what they've done is Fish and Game has basically changed the way they count a Joshua tree. So what was maybe 300, 350 trees on the site, like something like this, is now about 3,000. And so they tied all of their mitigation fees and all of their requirements to the number of trees. And so it's working through that, which you can imagine it really kind of
There's like a
skews.
20% mitigation or something like that.
Well, it's 20% in terms of possible relocation, but on top of that, they have per tree mitigation costs. That is actually a fee paid.
Overall cost per tree went from 20,000 to no more than 1,000.
Well, it's I don't know if it's 20,000. I never really,
Was.
it maybe was, and now it's less than 1,000. But also, that was maybe when you're counting, 300 trees versus 3,000 or something like that. And plus, they're actually on top of that, talking about relocation of a certain percentage, possibly 20% of the trees to another site.
Right.
And that adds to the complexity of
I don't think they
working through everything.
transfer well, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
They're
I'm not a
it's difficult.
biologist and I don't know.
You have to
but-
plant them in the same exact position
Yeah,
as they're
it's
removed,
a-
like, so they
it's
have
a
to face
difficult
the same way.
task.
Yes.
I mean, we love our Joshua trees out here because we all were raised with them.
Mm-hmm.
They're like our little brothers and sisters. We want to take care of them. But I know how difficult that project can be,
Right.
trying to get those things moved and
It is, yeah.
mitigated, so.
It's very complex, and,
Yeah,
and,
it
and
is.
the policies and the rules and the procedures are really kind of in flux. They're not really,
Yeah,
they're kind of constantly changing.
Right.
So we're trying to get a handle on what they are.
okay.
I could say, I think that the governor's trailer bill last year did help this issue some, but there's still more work to do, and both of our, or I guess all three, so I don't know about the state senate rep, she's new, but the other assembly members are both on top of this and are still trying to bring something back to mitigate it even more.
Right, right. Yeah, we're speaking with Mr. Creel about that and trying to get some help and trying to sort through the policies. After that bill, actually, that bill helped lower the per tree fee, but after that, they basically set forth a policy on how they count a tree.
Right.
And that's what, so
Can't
one
win 'em
thing.
all.
So either way,
also-
they get their money.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so,
see how that works, okay. All right, so since we have no more questions, can I ask for the clerk, city clerk, to please read the title of the ordinance?
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Palmdale approving the final two-year time extension, 24-0006, and major modification, 24-0008, to previously approved tentative track map 60500, a request to subdivide 30.68 acres into 66 lots to facilitate the construction of 65 single-family residences and one detention basin located south of Vista Point Way and west of Rancho Vista Boulevard.
Okay. Can I get a motion and a second to introduce the ordinance officially? And then we'll do a roll call?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second? Or a third?
Mayor
Okay.
Loa? Mayor Loa?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes?
Councilmembers Bishop?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
And Alarcon?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So now we will open the public hearing and receive testimony. Do we have any speaker cards on this?
We have no speaker cards on this item.
None? Okay.
Then I will move to adopt ordinance number 1651 as recommended by staff.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Mayor Loa?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Bettencourt?
Yes?
Councilmembers Bishop?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
And Alarcon?
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, great. I guess we have to formally close public hearing too, right? So I'll close public hearing. All right, now we're moving on to item number 7.2. Do you want to do the readings first, or should I have them speak first? What order do you want to do that in?
Well, it is how it's scripted, but you can have them go ahead and speak first.
Okay.
But we just
That way
need to make
if you
sure
have
that we do it.
questions- Okay.
Well, I can do it so that people know what it is.
Yeah.
So I'll move to introduce the ordinance, or read that into the record,
Do you want me, okay.
please.
Okay. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Palmdale, California, approving specific plan 22-001 and zone change 22-001. A request to change the zoning designation of a 432.9 acre site from office flex to specific plan to facilitate the establishment and development of a master plan commerce center referred to as the Antelope Valley Commerce Center, and finding that the project is consistent with the environmental impact report prepared and certified for the project. Also, I'll read the resolution, which is also a part of this, which is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Palmdale approving General Plan Amendment 22-001 tentative parcel map 83738, site plan review 22-008, and a form of development agreement 22-001 for the subdivision of a 432.9 acre site into 19 lots to accommodate phased development of a master plan commerce center and certification of the environmental impact report, and adoption of the mitigation monitoring and reporting program and statement of overriding considerations.
That was a mouthful. All right, can I get a motion a second?
I moved, we just need a second.
Second?
Call for
Call
the
the
vote.
roll.
Mayor Loa.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Davenport.
Yes?
Council members Olson,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
and Alarcon.
Yes.
Motion
Okay.
passes.
All right, so now I'm going to actually open the public hearing and receive testimony on this item.
Oh,
Oh, wait, or did you want to do your presentation first?
Yes, please.
Probably a good idea, huh? All right. Thank you, Megan.
Of course. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members. My name is Megan Taggart. I'm the Interim Director of Economic and Community Development. And the project before you this evening, as Rochelle so eloquently put, is for the Enloe Valley Commerce Center specific plan, which is located on approximately 430 acres, which is on the southeast corner of Avenue M and Sierra Highway. The proposed specific plan provides the framework for the cohesive development of the master plan development, which consists of approximately 8.2 million square feet of industrial space and 61,000 square feet of commercial space, and all of the infrastructure necessary to support development of the site. In addition to the specific plan, the applications submitted by the applicant include a general plan amendment, which would change the designation of the site from employment flex to specific plan, a zone change, which would change the zoning of the site from office flex to specific plan, a tentative map, which subdivides the site into 19 parcels, which facilitates the phased and logical development of the build-out of the site over time, and a development agreement, which specifies some terms and agreements between the city and the applicant as it relates to implementation of the project. An environmental impact report was also prepared and circulated for this project in compliance with state law. And although mitigation measures were applied to reduce impacts where possible, some impacts could not be mitigated to a less than significant level. So in addition to certification of the EIR this evening, we're also asking you to adopt a statement of overriding considerations. Each phase of development will be reviewed and processed in the manner prescribed by the specific plan, as it will now be the governing document for the site. The site plan for phase 1 is included with this current proposal, and it is for the construction of 6 buildings, which will total 2.4 million square feet of industrial space, along with the associated improvements necessary to support the build-out of phase 1. And staff has reviewed these development plans in detail and made sure that they are consistent with the draft specific plan as proposed. Finally, an Exhibit F of ordinance number 1648 was inadvertently omitted from your packet. You received it prior to the meeting. It was also distributed for public review. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any question. Well, we also have the applicant team here this evening.
Okay, great. So don't leave. Council, any questions, comments, concerns? No, we're good?
Yeah, let's open it up.
All right, so let's
Yeah.
go ahead and open the public hearing and receive testimony on this item. Thank you, Megan.
We have Amy Smith.
I'll start this thing off. I don't mind. Good evening. My name is Amy Smith, and I'm here representing Creed Los Angeles. First and foremost, I just wanted to thank you guys for your recognition of our labor groups, of our community development, and the overall betterment of Palmdale, Los Angeles County, and the entirety of Southern California, because that is a huge step, and that really does need to be attended to and spoken about. And I'm very proud of those words coming out of everybody's mouths and being so excited about it. So anyway, I am here tonight to support this project and to ask for the council's yes votes tonight. And this is because of projects like this one that have strong community benefits that will assure that the development of this project is also equal to the development and growth of our community and our residents. Development growth means that our community and our city are going to grow in a positive way, and that every respect to our community and to our residents and to our city and our state are attended to. And this deserves support and respect, and we ask that you vote yes today. Thank you.
We have Greg Lewis.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Greg Lewis. I'm with the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 761. We're here to support this project, and we're asking for your yes vote today that shows that you support us and the city of Palmdale as a whole. This project allows our hardworking men and women to advance their careers while earning middle-class wages and benefits. Most importantly, the developers made a pledge to hire a local, skilled and trained workforce to build their vision, ensuring a high-quality project that'll make a positive impact on the community by supporting the workers at the construction community that lives here and beyond. This project is great for the community, and we strongly urge you to approve it with your yes vote today. Thank you very much.
We have Jason, Laborers International Union of North America.
Honorable Council, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Jason Baez, and I'm a proud member of Laborers International Union of North America, and we're here tonight to fully support this project. We have a very honorable developer with us tonight who has went the farthest length to pay top dollar for the world's greatest construction force there is, the American Union Tradesmen, which will mean that this project will be built to the very highest standard possible. All safety rules and regulations will be implemented throughout the project. Every employee will receive a living wage with an excellent benefit package, as well as off-site training opportunities and certification opportunities. It also means, as my brother just said, local jobs. And we all know the treacherous journey that so many of us have to make every single day just to make sure the bills are paid. A local job is always a blessing beyond words. And furthermore, once this project is completed, it'll be an abundance of different types of jobs available for the community. Everything from management, clerical, maintenance, logistics, sales, you name it. Many opportunities for the community. For that reason and so many more, we urge you to please support this project and push it forward. Thank you so much. God bless.
Crispin Carrasco.
Good afternoon. My name is Crispin Carrasco. As well as my other brothers, we're here to support this project because the projects like this will benefit the local economy. We hire local carpenters as well. We have so many local contractors working on this area. So projects like this will increase the quality of life to these carpenters that we had to travel. As a construction workers, we had to travel so far away, and we spend like 3-4 hours in the traffic, stuck in traffic, losing time with our families. This will benefit to the local carpenters. I believe we had over 1,000 carpenters living in this area. They had to travel every single day to the southern area like LA or even further out. So all these carpenters, we're looking forward to keep them busy. So we have 6 buildings, 8 million square footage of workplace. It's a lot of work. It will increase, it will help the local economy. We might say the future is coming to Palmdale. I don't think so. I think future is here. It's here, and you are the example. You showing everybody else has to be organized, has to hire responsible contractors, how to get the labor skill carpenters, how to find the right people to deliver these projects, because we are doing it everywhere around, and we want to be part of the history. We want to be part of the history of Palmdale, because when we drive, we would say, we built that. Thank you.
Should I steal the words of our new president? Instead of drill, 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 we need build, build, build. Make sure we give all these people jobs that they can sustain and be here for a long time. Any other speakers?
Chuck Powell.
That was a great job.
I don't even know.
That was, yeah, we were talking about that.
I don't even know what else to say after that.
He did a great job.
That was about as good as it gets right there. He basically said it all.
Yes, he did.
My name is Chuck Palm, a carpenter representative out of Carpenters Local 661, Western States Regional Council, and I'm a 37-year member. So when we talk about the drive times and and what we've had to give up and sacrifice, well, during those career, it's
It's the smoke from the fires.
there you go, much better. The sacrifice of the drive times and the dance recitals, the baseball games, the Girl Scout meetings, the troop parties, the Boy Scouts, the things that I've had to miss over the years, you can't even add those up in the amount of driving that we actually do, and it's taxing on us. So when we get a developer that is willing to do the right thing, and we're not asking for money to drive Ferraris. We just want a livable wage to be able to live in the town that we grew up in, and to not have our kids have to move away. I have 5 kids, and 3 of them had to leave to go live somewhere else. So I have one in Washington, one in Reno, Nevada, and one in Phoenix. And the 2 boys that stayed here are both journeyman carpenters.
Oh, nice.
So they'll be able to work on this project and not have to miss the things that I had to miss in their life. So I thank you and hope that you will consider approving this project. And when we have developers like this they're willing to do the thing to help us out. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Norris Carter.
How you doing? My name is Norris Carter. I am here on behalf of the Ironworkers Local 433. I joined in 2016. My life was a little rough before then. Let's just say we went from apartments to homes, from buses to cars. So I want to get a yes on this vote as well, because I want to give a quick story. My son has seizures, and I was working out in Fresno, California, and he ended up seizing at school, and I had to drive 4 hours to get to him at the hospital after he was helicopter lifted from a school in Lake LA to down below. So yeah, a lot of our work is down below, but having local work is best. I just completed a school on 37th and S, and just being home with the family every day was amazing. I was off around 2:30, and I'm back at home before they get out of school, so I'm able to help with schoolwork. I'm able to be a dad instead of just being a tool for my family. So please vote yes.
We have no more speaker cards on this item.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close the public comment on this item. And now can I get a motion and a second to adopt the ordinance?
I'll move.
So moved.
Second. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we call for the vote?
Well, before we vote, we already introduced it, so
We did.
this is to adopt it, right?
Yes.
Can we just have the council discussion? Can I just say something?
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who's in this room today for not just coming here to advocate and support this project, but for all you've done to build up the Antelope Valley and for all you've done to build up this entire region. You know, It's remarkable. The stories that you've shared today are really, really touching. The Antelope Valley, city of Palmdale, our population is 170,000. We've got 65,000 of our residents that commute to and from each day. That's time away from your families, and that's, quality of life that we got to do better for. And I think tonight is testament that we are committed to doing that work and committed to delivering local jobs so that we can improve the quality of life and the families in our area. So thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out tonight away from your families again. To advocate for this project because it's much needed. This entire project is nothing but jobs. It's called the Industrial and Commercial Employment Center. Once it's built, it's going to be about jobs. It's creating jobs. It is a remarkable project. Thank you to the entire team for bringing it this way. Thank you to our commercial partners, our developers for bringing it forward and to being willing to partner and deliver this in a way that uplifts our entire community. So thank you for that. So I just wanted to say that before we vote.
I suppose I'll say a few words. Well, I want to thank the staff and the developers and all the private enterprise investing in us. This happens to land in District 1, which is the district I represent, and it's really exciting to see this level of development continue, especially along Avenue M, 10th Street West, which is looking to be our new industrial corridor for the Antelope Valley. This is where large-scale buildings are coming up and companies that handle logistics and employ hundreds, if not thousands of people are now looking to Palmdale for a new location. And this is, I expect it's going to look, when you look at the architectural elevations here, it looks very similar to Trader Joe's, and I expect that it's going to have an end user in that building that will be providing jobs as well. So just not only are we having the development that's going to bring construction and trade jobs, which is great, the end user is also going to bring jobs, which is going to employ people in our city, keep people off the freeway. So like I said earlier, it's been a long time coming for this level of development to continue again in Palmdale, and we're really excited to see it happen again because it has been quite a few years since we've seen this level of investment in our community. The Trader Joe's build, I believe, was $250 million or beyond that, just to build it. So you just think about the kind of impact that has. That's all.
What was your name?
He
would-
wants to hire you.
I would hire you to speak on my behalf any day of the week. That was amazing. No, I just want to say, look, I have every intent of voting yes on this, and I just want to say to the rest of you, stay tuned to the city of Palmdale because there's a whole lot of work coming your way.
Like I said, we're going to build, build, build.
Also, I want to.
Also good for the hire workers.
Yes.
Thank you.
I also want to single out a staff member, Megan Taggart. If you go through the staff report, she sent numerous letters to numerous government agencies. Do you know how many letters you sent out? Tons, right? To make this possible. So it's just not the city of Palmdale. It's the staff that has to coordinate with every organization under the sun in order to make this happen. So if you want something to put you,
That agenda.
this is the single item right here
It
to
is
make
no
this
easy
project go.
task.
So if you ever want to, some good reading material to fall asleep at night, read this and you'll see the hundreds of letters that Megan sent in order to get the approval to
Not
move
that
this
your work is
project
boring,
forward.
Megan. No, thank you, Megan, for doing that. Can you just stand up for a minute so we can give you a round of applause? We
And
do
your staff.
appreciate your work, we truly do. We oftentimes forget our staff, and thank you for what you do to help our community and to help our local workers, so thank you so much. Any other comments?
All right. Yes, I do.
Oh, yes, Mr. Loa.
So I think this is a great example of the collaboration between labor and business. For a long time, we've had the involvement of Dave Gomez and Kathy McLaren, who are IBEW, the Electrical Workers Union, and NECA, the National Electricals Organization. And a great example of that collaboration that brings jobs, that brings prosperity, that brings all kinds of exciting things to Southern California and now happening here in Palmdale. So I want to congratulate Megan and the developer in this particular case, and the fact that We had this land available to have this project happen. And as Mr. Bishop said, it is a new corridor for development of industry and office space and many other activities that are going to bring a lot of activity, a lot of economic fuel to the engine that is Palmdale. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Loa. Okay, so now we can do the vote.
So we have a first and a second already to adopt ordinance number 1648 and resolution number CC 2025-002. I will now give the roll call vote. Mayor Loa,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Betancourt,
Yes.
Council Members Bishop,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
and Alarcon.
Absolutely, yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
I know I'm not supposed to clap, but this is very exciting, very exciting. All right, if we could go ahead and move on to the city manager's report. Bye, you guys. Thank you for coming. Now we can do the city manager's report.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. We're pleased to report several hundred volunteers helped us with the MLK Day of Service, and we had a couple of council members there. We appreciate the support. All the work was done at Saves for the most part, repackaging and giving things back to the community. We also provided a backpack drive in coordination with Assemblymember Carrillo's office on the exact same day, and we had 32, I'm probably going to get that number wrong, I think 32 of our 33 iServe kids were in attendance helping us out that day. So that's a great program that we initiated just about a year ago now, and trying to get the younger generation engaged in local government and keep them local. So that being said, we have another season of service desert cleanup scheduled for February 15th at Barrel Springs Park and Ride. We also received another grant, $1 million, a Reconnecting Communities grant for Avenue Q in support of high-speed rail and high desert corridor. So we'll be working through all of the adoption of that money and the master planning of that area. We've also relaunched our low-cost spay and neuter program, and in just a week, we've had 50 animals approximately signed up. Also, as is notable and timely, we are working, our staff is working on providing what do I want to call it, an emergency readiness evaluation for all of council that we will bring before you in February to give you a situational update, as well as adoption of our emergency operations plan, given all of the recent fires that have happened in our area. I am very confident that the city is well prepared to manage a disaster in the event not when it happens. And we coordinate regularly with our team in exercises as well as fire, sheriff, and all of the community stakeholders to make sure that we're ready for anything that comes our way. But we want to give you an update so that your level of comfort and the community's level of comfort increases as well. We've also got a robust social media campaign talking about what everyone can do. It really comes down to some personal responsibility as well, so we're using this opportunity to educate the public on what they can do to be more prepared. All of that being said, I'm pleased to introduce a couple of new staff members that are key to our team. You met a little bit earlier. Our new Director of Public Safety, Don Rubio, joined us last week and has hit the ground running. And we've also hired our Deputy Director of Public Works, Mike Livingston, who is in the back. I wouldn't want his workload. And last but not least, today we also have Lisa Anderson, who's joining us as our new housing manager. That one's been vacant for quite some time, so we're excited to get all of these filled, and it's creating a lot of momentum on our team, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. So thank you all for that. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, and welcome aboard to all the new employees. And Rhonda, thank you for keeping on top of our preventative measures on making sure that we learn from the mistakes that have happened down below, so that will never happen to us. So I'm glad that we're paying attention, learning from their mistakes and moving forward, it'll keep Palmdale secure and safe. So thank you for doing that. All right, now we're going to call for the sheriff's report. If you could please come on up, sir. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem Betancourt and Council, as well as Mayor Lowe in DC. Response times to routine calls for service in the month of December were 106 minutes in the city. For the year, we ended with an average of 129 minutes per month, which was a 17% reduction compared to the 2023 numbers of 156 minutes. We handled 4,125 calls for service in the month of December and a total of 52,989 calls throughout 2024. We continued our partnership with the city's public safety staff, with CSOs handling 259 incidents in the month of December and writing 134 reports. We appreciate this partnership, which is the model of efficiency, utilizing city resources to mutually address public safety concerns. CSOs and the city's public safety department collaborate with the Partners Against Crime team, or PAC team, often on quality of life issues. During the month of December, the PAC team made 67 arrests and issued 43 citations, of which 20 were for Palmdale Municipal Code violations. Based on preliminary data, we averaged 323 Part 1 crimes per month in the year of 2024 for an overall increase of 10.99% compared to 2023. Part 1 crimes include murders, rapes, assaults, robberies, burglaries, thefts, and arson. Crimes against person were up 4.79% compared to 2023, with an increase of 29 incidents in total. This includes murders, rapes, and assaults. Property crimes were up 12.29% compared to 2023, with an increase of 355 incidents, of which 96%, or 344 of these incidents, were auto theft or retail theft. Gang-related shootings were down 15% compared to 2023 and 49% compared to 2022. A total of 3,930 arrests were made in 2024, which was a 2% increase compared to 3,842 in 2023. 626 firearms were recovered in 2024. This includes the 128 firearms that were recovered during the 2 city-sponsored gun buyback events. Our partnership with the city and its Business Watch program for Operation Secret Shopper resulted in 44 arrests during the holiday shopping season, spanning several undercover operations, which continue to occur on a weekly basis to today. We are now starting to see the impact of these operations with recent reductions in retail theft incidents, as well as increased filings with the district attorney's office, not only for retail theft, but also for narcotics violations. Graffiti continues to be a prominent issue for us. During the month of December, the city-funded graffiti detective noted 12 arrests for graffiti and conducted an additional 15 graffiti investigations. Traffic enforcement and collision prevention are also critical to our success in protecting the public. We averaged 173 reported collisions per month in 2024, which was an increase of 22% compared to 2023, but also had a 20% decrease in fatal collisions. We had 16 in 2024, we had 20 in 2023. We also had a 14% increase in traffic citations for 2024, with 11,115 citations issued compared to 9,721 in 2023, largely attributable to the 7 city-funded traffic enforcement deputies. Virtual deputy launched in 2024 in November. Since then, we've already received 138 submissions, of which 101 have been in the month of January alone. We're excited to see the community utilizing this technology to ensure we deliver services as efficiently as possible. The Spanish-speaking version is almost complete, and we're looking forward to launching it soon. Lastly, I would like to spotlight your sheriff station coordinated and participated in over 130 community events in 2024, including a very successful large-scale event like our haunted jail. We're looking forward to 2025 and bringing forward several more community events, including an interfaith prayer breakfast to be announced soon. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you. Anybody have questions?
Just a quick one. Has the fires had any impact on your station with deputies? I know other stations have been having deputies fill in.
It's kind of a twofold question. One, tomorrow we'll be back on 12 and 12s. So deputies will be on deployment for that, but then also a lot of deputies that work for us live in that impacted area, so they'll be impacted at home as well.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Now we are moving on to item number 10, non-agendized public comments. So this is the time for the public to participate on items not listed on the agenda, but they must pertain to something within the jurisdiction and control and reach of the city council. And what do we mean by that? We mean that we can't talk about things like eating dogs in other countries, or we don't handle abortion at the city level. We don't handle a lot of things at the city's, jurisdiction. So non-agendized items, you can talk about things that are not on the agenda, but it has to pertain to something within the control and scope of the city council. Do we have any,
We have Michelle Royal.
okay?
Good evening, council. A lot of you know me, and I'm up here tonight to discuss the fires. A lot of you know that I personally experienced a house burning down. Well, I guess you didn't know it, Laura. I guess you didn't. Yeah, oh, yeah, well, it did. It did. We're past it. We're good. We're all rebuilt. Everything's fabulous. And I might take a little bit more than 2 minutes, so be patient with me. I know in the next couple of weeks, you likely are going to approve Ritter's second phase of their building, and I'm totally cool with that. That is not a problem for me. However, if I look at it, we had Anaverdi built, promised a fire station. Fire station was never built in Anaverdi, because they always seem to push it off to like the second or the third phase. Whatever, I don't care who builds it, I don't care who pays for it. We're about ready to build a bunch of homes up in Ritter. So if we look at all of the fires that have impacted Ritter in that area, Anaverdi, Ritter, Leona Valley, Crown Valley, and now Lake Hughes, we've seen what happened down below. You just talked about let's not make those same mistakes. We need a fire station in the Anaverdi, Ritter area. Right now, Fire Station 24 is expected to handle that area, and my area as well in Leona Valley. It took us 3 phone calls begging fire to get to my house while it was burning. They would have never saved it. It's not their fault, absolutely not their fault. We have an on-call fire station in Leona Valley. We have no truck there and haven't had one for 2 weeks. Now, if something happens in Leona Valley, it's a high fire zone, we need fire protection immediately. So putting a fire station in that area right now is imperative. And we always hear politicians, and I am one, so I understand, with an abundance of caution, we want to act. You guys have the purse strings. You have the power to make this happen. I understand that LA County Fire has got to staff it, but we've got to build it. Now, Ritter is giving a pump truck, but where are we going to put it? There's no room at Fire Station 24. There's no room to put that truck anywhere. So the council has the power. We implore you as your constituents. It impacts every constituency on this council, the lack of fire stations in this area. And we know that there is funding somewhere. And the builders, I don't care if they pay for it, if the city pays for it, if Measure AV and PD pay for it, we can do this together as a community. So I implore you guys, figure it out, help us all. Let's not make those same mistakes that we're witnessing down below. We have the power up here, and we can make things happen. I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening, and thank you for the extra time this evening.
And thank you, Michelle, for, bringing this up, and I know that we're not supposed to engage with you. This is your time to speak and not us. I assure you, I will look into this personally for our community, and I'll meet with Rhonda and some other council members. We will figure this out, because that is an absolute priority.
Thank you.
So thank
And
you.
I know you guys have the best team.
I'm very sorry for your loss. I did not know.
My house is rebuilt, it's fabulous,
okay.
and it's not a problem now, and I learned a lot through that process.
Okay.
But I don't want anyone else to
No,
have
I
to go
don't
through
either,
it.
so thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Eugene Hernandez.
Hello, Eugene.
Hello, Mayor Pro Tem. First of all, I'd like to apologize to Mr. Curley for having to stay this long and the long drive back to his house. Second of all, we just celebrated Martin Luther King birthday. But as a person who lived through the era of Martin Luther King, I know better how he was treated when he was alive. He was considered to be one of the greatest national threats by J. Edgar Hoover. In the Contempló, the documents that have come out have shown that J. Edgar Hoover wrote, "We must prevent the emergence of a black messiah that will emerge from this nation." Now that could be the Black Panthers of that time, or could mean Martin Luther King. We know that the FBI spied on Martin Luther King. They tried to damage his marriage, and they considered him a threat. He was considered such a threat that when he came to Los Angeles, the city council of Los Angeles did not went to greet him. Not one of the members of the city council nor the mayor. The board of supervisors also did the same thing, except Kenneth Hahn did greet Martin Luther King. And Martin Luther King was shot through the throat with 30-06, allegedly by a white assassin. But subsequent investigations has shown he was killed by a Bay of Pig Cuban exile, much like JFK. And so we have to revise our history of Martin Luther King. These people were not considered idols at that time. They were considered enemies of the state. Thank you very much.
Okay, Eugene, so that was out of the jurisdiction of the city of Palmdale, but let me just say that we recognize his work,
Yes.
his dedication to all of his American citizens.
Sure.
And we have the absolute respect for Martin Luther King, and thank you for bringing that information and history to our council.
Thank you very much.
Victoria Ventura.
Good evening, Mayor Richard Loa and council members. My name is Victoria Ventura, and I am the District Director for Assembly Member Juan Carrillo, who proudly represents the 39 California Assembly District. Thank you, Austin Bishop, Councilmember Austin Bishop, for attending the backpack, and City Manager Rhonda Perez. We really appreciate the support. It meant a lot to the Assembly member as we collected backpacks for the those that were impacted by the wildfires. So we want to thank you for that. I also would like to share that the Assembly member and his team are currently working to ensure that all individuals impacted by the wildfires have access to the necessary resources available to support them during this challenging time. Pro Tem Mayor Laura Bencourt, I want to share the next item, and I understand that it's not within the City of Palmdale's jurisdiction, but additionally, I want to take a moment to address the importance of providing comprehensive immigration rights, education, and resources for the residents of Palmdale. As we know, our community is home to a diverse population, many of who may not fully be aware of the resources and rights available to them. It is essential that we work together to ensure that all individuals, regardless of their immigration status, feel informed, supported, and empowered. By supporting initiatives that provide accessible education about immigration rights, legal resources, and community services, we can foster a more inclusive and resilient Palmdale. This will not only help individuals navigate complex systems, but also contribute to the overall well-being and safety of our city. I encourage the council to continue exploring partnerships and programs that promote awareness and provide support for our immigrant community. I want to thank Councilmember Eric Olson for his proactive approach in addressing the immigration-related policies and their potential impacts under the new federal administration. In his letter to Assemblymember Juan Carrillo and our public officials, Councilmember Olson has shown a commitment to support our community and advocating for the necessary resources, protecting for immigrants, and I was one of them. So I plead you and I urge you to collaborate with us so that we can get the education and the resources to our residents. Thank you so much for your time.
So Vicki, you were
Yes.
wrong. That is within our jurisdiction.
Okay.
And here's why. This is why this whole topic is so important. Just because they're not citizens doesn't mean they're not residents of our community.
That's
They
right.
are our neighbors. They are our friends. They are, family members to many people. And we want to make sure that they know what resources are available to them. That's an obligation that the city has to all of our residents.
That's
So
right.
I just want You did not speak out of turn. You did not talk about a topic that was not within our power to address. So thank you for bringing that forward.
I appreciate you, all of you. Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember
Sorry,
Colson.
we're not supposed to do this,
I know.
but
I know,
we all do it anyway, so here I go. No, so thank you for acknowledging the letter I sent. I also did receive a response back from Supervisor Barger's office, so I look forward to everybody pulling together, getting all the stakeholders together, and then more importantly, getting the information out to the residents.
That's right.
Thank
And
you.
that's what we want to do. So thank you on behalf of the Assemblymember Juan Carrillo. Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
We have Edith Roman.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening and welcome back.
Thank you. I live in Palmdale for over 30 years. We used to have several candidates competing for the mayor position. After half-buyer terms, the city adopted a system where voters are divided into 5 districts. I was appalled to learn from PCF that Palmdale adopted this system without a general municipal election. Instead, the mayor is chosen by lot and then rotates among the 5 council members. This means only residents of a specific district can vote for their candidate rather than entire city voting for the best candidate. Palmdale population is merely 160,000, with each district having 32,000 people. Allowing only 32,000 people to decide for the entire city is not democratic. The 5 council members should not decide the next mayor without an election. We, the people of Palmdale, want to choose our own city leader from a municipal election, not by rotating system among the 5 council members. We seek an immediate resolution to change this system. We are a republic, not monarchy or communist. Thank you.
Paul?
Good evening, everyone, City Council, Mayor. Appreciate you all being here tonight. I'm going to kind of hit on the same topic. Why were the people of Palmdale not included in our decision to adopt a rotating system to install the city mayor without going through a municipal election? The very 3 words in our Constitution is "we, the people," not "we, the city council members." In a Republic of America refers to a political order where citizens vote for the representatives to speak for us and to work for us together. We, the people, did not give consent to letting merely 5 council members decide for us which one of you will be our next mayor without going through an election process. You work for us, not the other way around. It's absurd to let one district decide for the entire city who will be our next mayor. It's not democratic.
That's not how that works.
I know. Yeah. Thank you. It's imperative, council members, to implement a resolution to change this unfair practice as soon as possible. Let the people of Palmdale decide, should we adopt the rotating system to install our city leader or go through municipal election? Thank you.
We have Lisa Kraft.
Well, hello, on the January 16th, the Planning Commission approved a zone change to make way for the Beyond Food Mart next to Palmdale High School. And I want to appeal that decision, and so what I'm doing is I'm really researching, and a lot of people in the planning department are really helping me, and there's a lot of good resources for this. However, I didn't realize it would be, because I'm a layperson, I'm not an attorney or anything like that. So I was just wondering if anybody on the city council or possibly the city manager knew who would have a discretion for me to have a time extension on my appeal that I want to do, because the appeal ends, I have to have the appeal end by next Tuesday before 5 a.m. And so I was just wondering if, I see all kinds of time extensions for other things, and so I was just wondering, as maybe just to help me with my democratic rights, if I could have a time extension. But Anyway, and and then also I'm really appalled that anybody would think about putting a gas station next to Palmdale High School. I'm just really appalled by that, and it's just not right. I mean, it's what message are we sending to those kids? You know, we don't care about you guys. We're going to put in all this concrete. It's going to cause a heat island effect, more than 10 degrees in the summertime. All that ground level ozone they're going to be breathing. All that junk that the guy's going to sell to them in plastic containers. I'm just appalled. I mean, the gas station is really the bad thing, but I'm just appalled that you would even consider that.
Thank you.
Roger Soderstadt?
Man, all these speakers are so dramatic. I hate having to follow them. I feel like I'm at the comedy club and I have to follow Jerry Seinfeld. Even though some of them refer to state or federal or international matters, which we do not discuss here, as Ms. Betancourt pointed out, but apparently no one listened to her. Anyway.
Story of my life, sir.
Boy, I hear that. My concern is I'm still concerned about having sufficient water supplies for Ritter Ranch. Now, you can put a fire station and fire trucks there. There's going to be no water in the hydrants, as we found out in Los Angeles. It could well be the same thing here because it's the state and the county that the city has to count on for water supplies. And I'm just, you know, convince me that the supplies are available. That's what I would like. Thank you so much.
I will look into that for you, sir, and I'll get back to you.
Great.
Okay?
James Royale?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor, council members. I thought as long as I was here, I would, kill two birds with one stone. On behalf of AVTA, Antelope Valley Transit Authority, I just wanted to thank the city of Palmdale for participating in our Christmas and holiday Stuff-A-Bus and holiday drive-through grocery and toy giveaway. I really appreciate all the staff members and volunteers you guys sent out, the council members that came out. The event was really amazing, and it couldn't have been done without the participation of both cities, the AV boosters, all of the charities that got involved, and really all of the generous community members that we have. I'm sure you guys have heard the stats, but I think they bear repeating again. We gave away, or we distributed, more than 3,000 frozen turkeys, more than 2,200 holiday food boxes, more than $50,000 in toys, 300 bicycles, 300 coats, just many different things to the needy families here in the Antelope Valley. And again, we couldn't have done it without you guys, and we really appreciate your participation and support. Thank you.
No more speaker cards on this section.
Okay, with that, I'll go ahead and close the non-agenda public comments. And now we'll move on to item number 11, council reports, announcements, and requests for future agenda items. I'll start with you, Austin.
Okay, all right, I'm ready. So, yes, I attended the SABES MLK Martin Luther King Day with Mayor Pro Tem Betancourt. Thank you to SABES and Patricia and all the iLead students that showed up to participate.
We don't have to, sorry.
The report, sorry.
You don't have to report out today if you don't want to. You can do it next meeting. It's totally up to you.
I only had two things anyway.
Okay.
I just want to thank them for coming, and the iLead students were there. It was a great day, and it's great to see the students keep coming back and engaging in local government. And the questions they ask, I got to tell you, they're more intricate every time. They're really starting to ask some very serious questions about the city and how to get involved and our elections and all that. So we're able to speak to them, spend some time with them, and I think we left them with more information than they're asking for.
Yeah.
And to speak to the fires, the week of the fires, I sat with our city attorney and I talked to Rhonda about creating an emergency service assessment, or emergency services assessment, and evaluating everything we have and have that continually go on. And I've been made aware that we are already doing that, but we need to work on vocalizing that and work on preventative measures. This fire has definitely been an eye-opener for everybody in Southern California, but rest assured that that was my first thought, so I was already working with our staff on that.
I think I was texting you while you were doing that. I was blowing up everybody's
Yeah,
phones.
we were all
I
we
was-
were all on the same page as far as that goes.
Eric?
So since I see Amy sitting there, she is in charge of our EOC and emergency response and things. So I know you have your work cut out for you right now. We're all here to support you, and thank you for what you do for the city. Other than that, I just want to say thank you. Yesterday, I got a phone call that Supervisor Hahn approved a request by Supervisor Barger to appoint me to MetroLink. So I'm now officially a board of director on MetroLink, and I look forward to serving our city in that capacity.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Andrea?
Yeah, just a couple things to echo some of what everybody has said with regards to our proposed emergency readiness plan. One, I don't know if we've extended as a city. I reached out to some of the council members in Santa Clarita, but as a city, I don't know if we've extended any sort of either a call or a letter or email gesture of support to any of our neighboring cities to just offer in the case that they may need additional housing or any kind of resources to see if we could just lend a helping hand. I think that that would go a long way in terms of building rapport with our neighboring cities. But with specific regard to our emergency readiness plan, I think it was about a year and a half ago, Rhonda, that you and I met with an emergency management, a debris management vendor. We discussed potentially developing an on-call contract list so that we can access them in the case of an emergency, so that we didn't have to depend on any outside resources. At that juncture, I think it was determined by, I'm not sure whom, that we didn't need to move forward with that. I'd like to at least explore that again. We see that the county and the city of LA and cities of Malibu and various other jurisdictions are sort of kind of in a bit of a tizzy in terms of debris removal and management. And so I think it behooves us to at least explore retaining a contractor to just have on-call in the case so that we can call them and they'll be at the ready. It's oftentimes that the county forgets us. We're like the forgotten stepchild up here. And in the case that their vendors cannot access us for some reason, I think we should have an on-call a vendor, contractor who's ready and able to immediately respond when we need to. So if when you bring back the emergency readiness plan, if you could at least speak to whether or not we can move forward with an RFP to solicit contractors for that purpose, I'd appreciate it. I know, Mayor Pro Tem Betancourt, you mentioned that you're going to work on a lot of these things. I think there were some very valid points in terms of water and fire resources. I think it would be a wonderful thing for us as a council to develop a letter to the county, to the Chair Barger, to ask for an assessment of fire resources based on our projected growth and our water supply to this northern area of the county. I think that we'd all be in support of asking her to at least look at it and see what we've got, what's in the future, so that we can have a better idea of what's coming down the pike, and if we need to partner with them in terms of when we review our budget in June. If we need to make appropriations for that, we can, but we don't know exactly what's coming, and we don't know what's needed, and we don't know if a partnership can be developed in terms of building a station or, creating some means by which we can access additional water sources. So
Excellent idea.
cool, great, thanks. So that's that. And then one other sort of a bit touchy subject. For the past year and a half or so, I've been trying to access city attorney billing records. I think everybody's aware of my, time and time again efforts to get those records. I'm asked to vote on the city budget. and the city attorney's budget appropriation, but I have not been able to see any of those invoices. So unfortunately, I had to pursue litigation under the California Public Records Act in order to try to get those. Still, there's pushback in releasing those records. I find it, you know, a little concerning that the firm Harper and Burns is defending the city in the action to defend not disclosing the Harper and Burns invoices. I think that that's an inherent conflict, but that's for the council. That's for the council to discern. But more troubling is that same firm, Harper and Burns, didn't even show up to the most recent court hearing defending the city of Palmdale. The judge said, and the city of Palmdale represented by whom? Council, do you know where they are? Nowhere to be found. I find that to be, derelict of responsibilities, and it's the council can do what it wants in terms of moving forward, because I obviously can't participate in some of those decisions, but I just think that the public should know that these things are happening, that they're not showing up to court hearings, the records are not being disclosed. It seems that there's an inherent conflict. I don't know, there needs to be a conversation. It hasn't been agendized on any of our closed session, agendas since the action was filed. I just think it's a matter of concern. So you guys can do with that what you will, but I think it's quite concerning.
When you originally brought up the billing issue, a council subcommittee was formed and looked into the matter, and it's been resolved.
And to that,
For you.
Should we be commenting on
no,
any
we'll
current
just-
litigation?
we are in constant, regular communication with Mr. Shankman, the lawyer, Ms. Alarcon, and the fact she's trying to deal with litigation in public that involves her is incredibly unprofessional.
Just for the record, there's nothing confidential about what I've just said. It's all public record. They're all publicly filed documents. The court hearing was public, and they were a no-show.
Okay, so I'll give my report. On Martin Luther King Day, I met with the I Serve Kids. That was really nice, and there was a ton of them there, and they were all working. There was no goofing off. I also did the gifts for seniors. I don't know what they called it, where we were putting packages together for Valentine's Day for the senior citizens as part of Martin Luther King's season of service. And I went over to Saves to help them organize their clothing and food so that they can get more stuff in there. Eventually, Saves will be moving to a larger location, which they desperately need, so that they can serve more people and store more items for distribution. I don't have anything for future requests, so that will complete my council report. Mr. Loa, do you want to do your council report?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. And Mayor Pro Tem Betancourt, thank you so much for leading the city this meeting. I appreciate that very much. I have been in Washington, D.C., and being a witness to the events surrounding the election and inauguration of the new president. But I took the opportunity to visit in person with Congressman Whitesides to discuss items of great interest to the city, which is the grade separation at Rancho Vista and Sierra Highway, for which our advocacy group, Townsend, has been instrumental in assisting in getting that done. We did receive the raised grant funding, and I want to congratulate Rhonda and the team for getting that. But that still puts us a considerable amount of money short of what needs to be done to bring that project to life. And it's essential because it services Plant 42 and the contractors out there and all the aviation that's out there. And it's been the site of many very serious accidents, some resulting in death and serious injuries. So it's an important project. We've been working on that since at least 2000. We're finally making some progress. So I did meet with Congressman Whitesides. He's very receptive. He's very well informed about that. He is very supportive. And I think we had a very, very good session. Today I had the opportunity to meet well, not to meet, but actually to be with Senator Padilla. And likewise, we touched on this project. We touched on the high-speed rail as well with Congressman Whiteside and with Senator Padilla. And he's been supportive. Both of them were very supportive of efforts to bring aviation, to bring air service to the city of Palmdale. And there's a couple of proposals that might actually make that happen. And that as well has been a long-term project. So we had very successful meetings. I think that we have great support from our congressman and from our United States Senator. And I was very appreciative of that. So, and during the meeting with Congressman Whiteside, I did call on City Manager Rhonda Perez to give some further insight and depth to the conversation we were already having. And she was extremely helpful. And thank you so much, Rhonda, for your input there. And that's my report for tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And you'll be back for the next meeting, right?
God willing.
Okay, all right.
And by the way, Mayor Pro Tem, congratulations, Eric, on that appointment. That is very significant for us to have that voice on
That is.
Metrolink.
That is very
And
important.
you're going to be a great advocate for us. And I congratulate you, and I'm very, very delighted to hear that happen.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting to February 18th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Rhonda, is that a Tuesday or a Wednesday?
That is our very first Tuesday
Our very
meeting.
first Tuesday meeting. So it will be on Tuesday, February 18th at 5 p.m. right here in the City Hall Council Chamber. Thank you all for coming, appreciate it.
They'll have it